Good morning, my dear students. So once again, one more cyclone is coming and we are having some rain. So you have to be very careful, and also coronavirus. Be safe in the house. Okay. So we have finished the second lesson also, and we are now moving on to the third lesson. So in the second lesson, what is very important is how to write the electronic configuration using Aufbau principle, Hund's rule, and Pauli's exclusion principle. So keep practicing every day. At least 4 or 5 elements every day. You must try to write the electronic configuration, because that's going to be the base for the rest of the chemistry in the +1, +2 higher studies also. Right? Now the third lesson that we are taking up is periodic classification of elements. Right? Right from the day of creation of this world. Right? There are different elements which are existing in the world, and man is trying to discover new elements. As it kept on being discovered, it is found that by 19th century, at least there are 118 elements which were discovered. Right? Out of that, 92 elements are natural elements, and the rest of the elements are artificial created elements. Right? Synthetic elements rather. Right? So as the number of elements started increasing, scientists started classifying these elements to make the study easy, their application easy, and we can use them in a perfect way. Right? So that's what this lesson is about. So this lesson is about how to classify the elements that were discovered for a long time. The first person who discovered about this, who made the classification, is Lavoisier. So Lavoisier classified the elements basing on their properties, right? Particularly, there are certain elements which are acid-making elements. So sulfur is making sulfuric acid, carbon is making and carbonic acid, nitrogen is making nitric acid. Like that, few elements based on their acid-making capacity. Some of the elements are in gaseous state, like oxygen, nitrogen. These elements are, he has classified that gas-like elements, right? And few elements are having the conduction, thermal conduction, electrical conduction. Those elements are called as metallic elements. For example, copper, nickel, iron, right? And then the fourth type of elements are earthy elements, which are present in the earth crust itself. For example, limestone contains calcium, carbon, and magnesia contains magnesium and oxygen, and silics contain silicon element, right? But however, this classification is not much useful, because dividing 118 elements in 4 categories is again a strenuous task to study in deep about these elements. So after that, we started. The second scientist who worked on this is Dobrunyer. So Dobrunyer made triads, right? So when you say tri, it indicates what number? 3. So triads, this is called law of triads also. So when I say triads, it took 3 elements, right? 3 elements with similar properties. They should have same chemical property, and the triads will contain only group of 3 elements. And the second condition is that their atomic weight, the atomic weight of the first and the third element, you have to add and find out the mean, arithmetic mean for this or average of this. That will get a number. That will automatically become the atomic weight of the middle element, right? So the atomic weight of the middle element is the mean or average of the other 2. Like that, he formed triads, and he was successful up to 20th element only. He could not make many triads. He made only few triads only. So this is the attempt that is being made by Dobrunyer. So when I say Dobrunyer, he made triads. Triad is a group of 3 elements having similar chemical properties in such a way that the atomic weight of the middle element is the arithmetic mean of the other 2 elements. Similarly, we have chlorine, bromine, iodine also coming to this particular category. And this also did not work out for a long time. And the third scientist started working on this. That scientist is known as Chancrotius. Chancrotius. He made properties of the bodies are found to be one of the property of numbers. So numbers are deciding the properties of the bodies, means the substances, right? So this is the study made by Chancrotius. And then he made an helix, right, in such a way that he formed it with an angle of 45 degree to the vertical axis of the cylinder, right, like this. And in that cylinder, the circumference must have 16 units. And the 16 units, he placed 16 elements according to the atomic weight. Right? This is the method he tried to make 1616, and he was not very successful, and scientists also did not take much interest about the study made by this particular scientist. But only thing is, he related atomic weight with properties. This is the important concept. They got the attention. So basing on this, the next scientist came, and Newland, law of octaves. So next scientist is Newland, and he made law of octaves. When you say oct, it indicates what number? 8, right? Newland is a scientist who is much interested in music. So in the musical note, what we found is the first and the 8th note is similar, right? So musical note நம்மளுக்கு எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும் என்னன்னு ச ரி க ம ப த நி சா. So first 8 என்னவே வரும்? Same note வரும். So like that we can arrange elements also, he thought, right? So based on that, he did like this. Arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic weight and found that every 8th element has similar properties to that of the first element. First 8 இப்படி வந்தனே போகுது, கரெக்டா ஒரே ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிக்கு elements வருது. And he formed an octave like this. For example, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, then sodium. Now this is first element, this is second, this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth, this is sixth, this is seventh, this is eighth. Now the first and the eighth are having similar properties. So these two elements, Daubentry has brought in triads. Triads கூட அதே ரெண்டு element கொண்டாந்தாங்க, but with a different condition. Now it is coming in the octaves, right? Octave 8. The first and the 8th will have similar properties when you arrange the element in the increasing order of the atomic weight. And this particular arrangement, it was successful only up to calcium, that is up to atomic number 20. After that, it did not work out, and this also resulted in the form of failure. And after that, two more scientists started working on the periodic classification. That is Mendeleev and Moseley. That we are going to see tomorrow. So that is a very important part of this chapter, and be fresh tomorrow to listen to that. Mendeleev periodic classification of elements and Moseley periodic classification of the elements, right? And today what we have learnt is mainly about two things: triads, octaves. So these are forming the base for the rest of the discovery about the periodic classification of the elements. So stay safe and remain calmly, right? And keep studying also. God bless you.